When you pick up a camera, how do you decide that this moment is worth capturing? Today I'm sitting with Carolina Isabel Salazar, and she's worked with brands like Levi's, Netflix, and Spotify, proving that an image can tell more than words ever could. By the end of this episode, you'll see how a single image can hold a whole story, a culture, or even someone's truest self. Hey friends, welcome back to Cozy with Calinnah, where I share my journey as a nurse by day and an artist by night, having real conversations with multi-hyphenates, dreamers, and doers. Don't forget to subscribe and catch new episodes every Thursday. Thank you for being here. I know that you've had a journey going back and forth from New York,
Yes.
and you're going back tomorrow,
Yes.
right? So we caught you at a
This is
good time.
crazy. I was like, we can squeeze this in. We can manage
Right,
this.
right.
Tomorrow we're heading back.
Yes, and I haven't seen you since probably like 4 years. Yeah,
Almost going to 5. Yeah.
pre-pandemic. Wait, so you moved to New York like during the pandemic?
Yeah, it was like 2021. I had my first gig, like photo gig in 2020
Wow.
in New York. It was,
Wow.
yeah, I know.
How was that?
It was crazy because I was like, I'm going to do it and I'm not scared. And I would get COVID tested and like I had to like have all that proof. But it was kind of crazy how the country and everyone was going through it. And I was like, yeah, this is our moment, you know? So,
and oh my God, New York was the one that got hit
the
super
craziest.
hard. The first, like one of the first big states.
Yeah. Funny stuff is that a year
wild.
later is I was partying out in New York and went to like a yacht party and then I got sick.
Oh shit. Okay, seriously. Same thing. You know, I never got sick during work because I became a nurse. I don't know if you knew this. I became a nurse during COVID.
Yeah.
Or before, but I started working like immediately during COVID. And then I never got sick at work. I was very, very careful. But then, like, when they started opening things up, like, we had curfew, we had all this stuff, and then they were like, no masks anymore. And then I think I went out partying, and same thing.
You know what's funny is that I went to New York, did the party, did all that, and then came back to LA and then went to go party in Long Beach.
Oh.
I think Sandra was like doing like spinning something, and then the next day like I was barfing while I was getting my nails done, and then I was like I had the COVID test come in, I had a job, I had to cancel it. Yeah, it was a whole thing.
Yeah, I mean that's how you get it, is all the gatherings.
You know, it's lore now. You know? Now it's a story.
Exactly, so. It's a good story.
Yeah, exactly.
So I have some good beginning questions. When you pick up your camera, what makes you decide this moment is worth capturing as a story?
When I decide it's worth, that starts way before I actually pick up the camera. A lot of the work that I have made is predetermined. It's put in a deck. There's a whole crew going in to create this story. It could be from a more documentary on location, or it could be more in studio, but there's always like an intention behind any of the work. It could be as simple or as complex. There are moments that I do shoot kind of on the spot, or kind of let the universe kind of unfold for me, but there's always like a premeditated, like, okay, this is the intention we're going into. Either we let it unfold or we're more controlled. But yeah, it happens like way before, sometimes a month before, sometimes 4 months before, like depending on how big the project is, if it's video, if it's photo. So yeah.
Wow. So you have to really incorporate the collaboration part, because there's a whole team, like glam, styling.
I now even have producers involved. I'll try to have logistically a team to be able to help make this happen, because they seem to get bigger and bigger as my career has been going, in my art and my voice. But I think the collaborative experience is what makes it so magical. Yeah.
And how do you come up with these concepts? Is it usually like the brand that will give you this like idea, and then you kind of just work and figure out what it will at the end, like the final product will be?
Hmm. Depends. If I'm working with a client, there's kind of a premeditated like idea, and then either they need help through the creative journey or the voice, or it's already like established and they're like, we want you to put your eye on this and shoot it how you shoot it.
Mm-hmm.
But if it comes more to personal work, that's where like we take effort of like every single thing, and then that just comes from the noggin,
Yeah,
or
and
like experiences.
yeah, and have you like did you always were you always into photography
My whole life.
your whole life? Let's talk about that. So, when you grew up in Bellflower. Hey,
Hey,
Bellflower represents.
rep. Let's
Okay,
go.
finally.
I
Some people are like, "Where's Bellflower?" I'm like,
We're here. We're marking it right now. You know where it's at now. The Blue Church, baby.
"Yay!"
The Blue Church.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, and the downtown.
Honey,
It has come a long way.
I've seen
Have you
it's
seen
a
it
thing.
recently?
No, I
Oh.
have yet to go, but I've heard it's like
Yeah,
it's
there's
a
like
nice little town
yeah,
now.
like that steel craft, like kind of is like the biggest thing I think in Bellflower right now.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because I think back in the day, everything used to kind of die in downtown. Nothing would ever make it in downtown.
all the businesses.
All the businesses.
Yeah, they were all closing or they
yeah.
were boarded up, and it was like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah. And it was just like churches and
Do you remember when they added the pirate boat thing for the kids where the Christmas tree gets lit
no,
up?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, like they added a whole pirate. Like my brother would go to that and stuff, and then they did like the bike, like the walk trail against or like along the train.
Yeah, yeah. I remember the train tracks.
They were
and
trying.
yeah, yeah, and they tried to make it like cute and yeah, but it always kind of
Yeah, Bellflower.
yeah,
You know.
Bellfleur. You know, I walked that train track with my friend one time, and didn't they had like some history stuff about it. I didn't know that it was like a Dutch town. So it's Bellfleur is the Dutch name for Bellflower. Yeah.
I cannot. Are you serious?
Never knew that.
That's so
Never
crazy.
knew
I
that.
did know it was farmland also
Yeah.
at some point too. Just
Yeah.
like Compton.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, I think Compton was farmland as well.
Ah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Crazy.
That's insane. Dutch. Well,
Yeah.
that shit ain't Dutch no more.
Nah, it ain't Dutch no more.
That's for sure. But yeah.
Yeah. So you grew up in Bellflower, and then what made you decide to like start photographing things?
Um, I was like 13, 14, and I remember my family was asking me a lot of like what I was gonna do. I honestly had no idea. But there was like, elective classes, and I remember before photo I took like painting. I was horrible. Like I thought I had that. That was not the thing. I was always like a artsy fartsy girl. Like my vibe was always like that. And then I remember being like, oh, I'll just take like photo 101, and I remember like the first three classes where they were like showing the documentaries and like the process of like the darkroom and film and like how it came up in the Industrial Revolution and all of that. I immediately fell in love and like really respected what they were teaching me and was instantly like enamored by it. And I was like, nah, this is it. And like the more I dove into it, the more dedicated I became to it. My teacher was a huge like person to like inspire me, and then also like tell my mom like, yo, you should probably let her, like she really wants to do this, like she has that fire. So it started there, and then I just been doing that ever since.
Wow. What age were you?
I was 15.
Oh, you were in high school.
I was in high school.
Oh, so it was it a high school class?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Exactly. I was
Yeah.
that geeky girl that had like my little portfolio. Like I
Oh,
had like a legit little
cute.
artist portfolio, and I had all my darkroom prints, and I would carry that shit every day and like show it off, and like classmates would like grab it because like every week or so I would make little prints, like little new stuff, and people would be like, yeah, pass it over, and they would like look through and stuff. Yeah, it was
That's
this whole thing.
cool. Yeah, I remember I used to I took a class in high school, and that's when like I like the whole red room, like that I feel like I've always loved and like admired photography.
Yeah.
I think it's such a important thing, especially because we're visual people. Um, even though I'm not a photographer, I definitely admire like, and I see like great work, or at least what I think is great work, right? And I love your work.
Thank
Like
you.
I've been following you for since I've met you, and
Yeah.
it's been just a great like journey to see you and
Aw,
like your growth and everything.
thank you. Yeah,
And
you caught me at the like that was my first solo show.
yeah, it was Gaze. Was that the one?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
at Que Sera.
Que Sera. That's right.
Yo, that night was lit. Do
That
you
was a good
remember how
night.
crazy
That
the
was a good
crowd
night.
was at the end
Yeah,
of the night? Like it was
yeah,
sick. It was one of the best events, like shows, and it was like at a bar. You know,
yeah,
it was such a great effort, and we raised money as well.
yeah,
We sold some zines. Yeah,
yeah.
I was really honored and
What was the
happy.
cause again?
It was for this nonprofit called Las Fotos Project, and they're based in
Oh.
Boyle Heights, I believe so,
Mhm.
East
Mhm.
LA. At the moment, I was a mentor. So then I remember they were
Mm.
like needing funding, and I was really in it, and I decided like I'm just gonna go ahead and give that cause. You know what I mean? And it was great.
Yeah, it turned out
Yeah.
amazing. And you completely transformed it too.
Yeah.
I never thought, like, I think you brought in like these, it was like a little structure thing so you could have the
Mhm.
curtains. I
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah. Yo, that night was so crazy. I had to pick up the zine prints literally the day of because they had messed them up beforehand.
Oh.
We were running late, and my brother was in another car, and we were like in the carpool with no like second passenger trying to gun it there. And then I remember like taking everything out. Some of the homies were late, and we were like running like crazy. And I remember parking my mom's van in a KFC parking lot, and then the event starts. We're getting moved and everything, and my brother's like an hour in, like he's drinking, hanging. He was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go move the car." That shit got towed.
Oh
And I was like, stop. And then it was a
no.
whole mission, like him trying to find a car so that at the end of the event,
You had something to
we had to
take your
take every.
stuff in. Oh my
Yo, it's
God.
like that every time. Like I said, Lord, now we have a whole little story to tell the audience.
Right. It's lore.
So yeah, that was a really funny experience, but it was really cool to like take control of the space and
Yeah.
like give it a whole vibe because we had like the light up seats and the light up chairs.
Right.
Remember?
Yeah,
We
and it
had
was
the
like on the
on the
stage,
stage.
right?
So it's like you
Yeah.
were walking up to the art and then you can go party and
Mm.
drink
Right, right, right.
elsewhere,
That
you
was
know?
like the first time I had seen Kesara like transformed into a space like that, where it was more
Yeah.
like a gallery than it was like a performance stage. So you did a great job with.
Thank
You had a
you.
lot of ideas, I remember, and
Yeah.
like it all came out together.
Yeah, I
Like,
wanted to do more. I
yeah,
really wanted to do more,
yeah,
but I think it came out so perfect. It was like the perfect amount of like party and art, you know, like where
yeah,
people can hang and drink and
yeah,
enjoy, and it was still like sexy, and
yeah,
then you could still like get down.
yeah.
So
Even the colors, I feel like it was like, was it kind of like pinkish purple?
purple, like
Yeah, I
deep
remember.
purple with like
Mm-hmm.
suede. You know, like low
Hey.
rider, Long Beach suede, you know?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And where do you come up with these concepts? Like, do you is it from your childhood? Like, do you incorporate from your culture, your Guatemalan American,
Red
right?
baby, yes.
Yeah.
Um, you know what's funny? I actually getting back into my roots as a Guatemalan and like last year and all that and just kind of doing my own research and finding this information. We're actually very social people. Like
Mm,
even in our indigenous people, we're very much about like social life and like connecting and like all of those kind of bubbles. So I think it already comes with me as like who I am and my culture,
right.
and I could see it through my family and like all that. But also my dad did a lot of community work. He actually worked at KPFK and volunteered for like
Mm,
years. So I was around like panel discussions, I was around like art shows, I was around like community
mm,
events, I was going to protests. So I was very much involved in the community. And I think that like I learned that, and this is kind of me translating that in my own way through my own art and through my own voice.
mm.
He was more of like a political, you know, he was more of like a protester and like, you know, a community advocate. I feel like I am in the same way, but with my art. You know, I move a little.
Mm.
Art is political, so I'm moving differently.
Right.
But even then, doing that event really showed me like, if everybody just comes together and we make an effort, we can really help the community in any and every way.
Right.
And I recently just did an event a week ago, same thing. Everybody came in with their talents, their efforts, their products, their spaces for a cause, and it's possible to do that. So
Yeah.
I think that comes from my past as a childhood, seeing that,
Yeah.
and like being able to connect those dots. But I think that I've had a lot of influence for sure as
Yeah.
a kid. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think like when I look at your work, I feel like I see a lot of negative space, but it's impactful. Like sometimes adding more is not always like as strong.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when you take away, it's just more, I don't know, it has more of a message to me. Like I feel like there's definitely like a story
Mm-hmm.
that photographers tell, even if you work with a team of like collaborators, like style, all that. Yeah, that makes a difference.
Yeah.
But the positioning, like, do you have a say in where, like, let's say you start shooting and you're like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's really reading.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you kind of stop in those
Oh,
moments?
definitely. I
Mm.
am like on the ground. I am directing the people.
Mm.
I'm definitely also involving whoever is my client or my team or my stylist, being like, hey, I don't like this, or hey, can you judge that? Hey, can everybody have eyes on here? Or like, I need you to move here, position here. Definitely. I'm directing everything that's going down on the set.
And do you do like videos as well?
Yeah, I've
Okay.
been tapping
Motion.
in. I just released my first music video. I have like a little short film going. Girl, let's do this. Let's do something in San Pedro.
Ooh.
San
There's a
Pedro's
lot in
iconic,
San Pedro.
baby. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
honey.
That Korean Belle.
Honey.
And there's like another, you know, those rocky, is that in San Pedro?
I think there's
all
like
the
a
rocks.
little, like, there's a little, like water kind of area.
Yeah.
I think I know
Yeah.
what you're talking
Yeah.
about. I just saw it recently.
Yeah.
We'll talk about
Okay,
this later.
yeah, let's do it.
Stand by. So
Yeah.
music video just released recently. I'm working on like a short film, and I'm definitely diving into that. Like opportunities are popping up, and I'm like really hungry, and I really love that I'm able to tell more about the story.
Yeah.
With that, and again, the collaborative experience of like working with an editor, working with an artist, working with a DP, like having like a team effort and being able to focus on like what matters,
Right.
and like reading the cues, understanding everything that's going down, and kind
Yeah.
of negotiating that. And that's been really
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. I feel like working, like, because I've directed my music videos and stuff, and it's always so interesting to work with other people, because sometimes like not everyone has the same like understanding, even if they have great work. I think we need to talk about this, because like it's just like having better communication with like the staff, like what are we trying to get out of this music video, what is the message, how do I want to be portrayed as an artist too. I think is it's important to have those conversations with people you're working with.
Having that communication is essential. Like, you need to be getting on meetings to be on the same page. You need people that are committed and dedicated to actually contributing to the vision. Like you need the team to jump on. But that's what's so beautiful. It's like communicating all those concepts and all those things. It's like how the magic happens through the visuals, like that moment of conversation is what manifests, through the projects and all that. So
exactly. And is there anything from artists that you feel like could make your job easier? Because I want to know if I can make it easier for somebody else. Maybe I'm crazy.
No, okay, so I think understanding like who you are as an artist, maybe it doesn't have to be so deep, but like a basic understanding of who you are as an artist, being dedicated and communicative about wanting to be part of this process. I work specifically with Kitty. Her stage name is Umina. And she was amazing. We were both like producing together, but it's like she would pick up a little slack, or she would kind of like remind me, or you know what I mean? It was like very much
Mm.
like, hey, we're going to do weekly meetings. And she was on it. She was there. She was ready. And it made me really excited to work with someone that was very interested and very dedicated in that.
Mm.
And I love that. Like, it made me like, yeah, let's do this, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's good. Yeah, cuz I feel like I just want to be better, right?
Yeah.
But it's also like I feel like also to not be too like micromanagey, because then you want to be able to trust
Yeah.
whoever you're working with, right? And then
Exactly.
if it doesn't come out that way, then it is what it is, and you just
Yeah.
adjust after that. Because I'm not going to name names, but I've had some people I've worked with where, yeah, maybe we weren't on the same page and I could have done a better job at communicating.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is more the vibe. Maybe these are more of the colors, or,
Mhm.
like, because I love to edit, right? But like, not everyone knows my editing style.
Yeah.
So, being able to communicate that and just have like a set template, I guess, could be a little
Yeah.
easier.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, you learn through the process of like making, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm not going to do that again. You know, like,
Yeah.
I will be honest, was really flaky in the beginning of my
Mm,
career, and like had a lot of self doubt, did not like the work, don't want to release it. People were like, what happened? And I'm like, no, like, I'm not about this. I don't like it, you know,
mm,
or like couldn't meet my deadlines or couldn't meet my edits. And like through those failures, I'm like, okay, we can't do this. We can't do that. We need to do this
mm.
better. But it's like, you have to like look at yourself and be like, what am I doing wrong? You know?
Yeah.
But that's how you get better. Now I'm like ready. I'm on those
Right.
meetings. Those decks are done. You know what I mean? Like, I'm on top of
Mm.
it, but I had to learn by not doing it in the first place. You know what I
Right.
mean?
What was stopping you from?
I think that I had like a lot of imposter syndrome in the beginning. Like, I'll
Ah.
be honest, I'm not this bitch that I was 10 years ago. Like, in my early 20s, um, growing and learning through the industry and like how hard that was, and then being a Latina woman and like one of the few to be photo assisting, one of the few to be in the spaces, it was like constant like battling through different
Mm.
personalities and different people, and like people not wanting to see me win, or people like pushing me down on set. So like I went through a lot to be like as hard as I am now, and like as confident, but it was a
Mhm.
lot of like up and down. And then through that and creating, like, I was like very doubtful. I didn't like the work that I was doing. For me, it wasn't good enough. And then like
Mm.
the accessibility, and like not knowing also like who I was as an artist as well, you know?
Yeah.
That was also a thing that I was battling with the work I was doing, you know? So it was a lot of different things that were contributing, but the fact
Right.
was is that I didn't stop. I keep
Mm.
going. Like,
Right.
I kept going. I kept pushing and being like, failure is not the answer. Like, I'm gonna keep working on it, and facing myself, being like, you did trash. You got to do better. You did
Right.
trash. You burned that bridge. Like, you did trash.
Mm.
Now
Yeah.
next time, don't do that shit again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, is photography a male dominated industry also?
1000% white
Okay.
male
Oh,
dominated,
okay.
you know, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, music, we all know. I don't gotta explain it, but it's also male dominated. I mean, I go
Yeah.
into studio rooms, rarely a woman. I go to any networking, there's always, I think, more men than
Yeah.
women. And just navigating like any industry, I think, is a struggle, because you're also trying to focus on your work and not just take the compliments as, them trying to get
In your
in your DMs
head.
too.
It could be under your skin, or it could be the other way around. It
Right.
could be a negative, or anyways.
That's
Yeah, you
another
know,
conversation.
yeah,
Yeah.
but you know what's nice is that I think it's interesting. Like, I could see there's like a renaissance going on. Like,
Mm.
when I was starting with my creative journey and like learning and being behind the scenes, I didn't know where any of my community was, or to see like the BIPOC peeps coming up. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So like, I think that everyone's kind of in this journey and we're all coming up. And I think things are shifting. Like our
Right.
influence as women, you know, as LGBTQ, as BIPOC is like starting to change. And I feel
Yeah.
like at some point, like they can't deny us. We can build our own tables, you know, and like continue to push
Right.
forward. But it takes time. It takes work. We have to be the
Yeah.
ones to wave the path down in order for that to happen. And it's been happening slowly but surely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. I think it's important to have representation because without that, then we would not be doing what or like, maybe we started this because there was no one to look up to. And now it's like we have to be the people to show that. And if,
Mhm.
if someone was like, for me, there were not a lot of Filipino singers that I could look up to as a kid. But if I ever saw one, it was like another, like just in the back of my mind, like, oh, like if you could do this, I could definitely do this too.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
did you have any figures in your life that pushed you there, or you kind of just were like, I just want to do this?
I will admit my high school teacher definitely helped a lot. She wasn't like the level of like what I'm trying to do. She just taught it and had love for it.
Yeah.
But that really inspired me to do that, being like, okay, she can do it. She knows what's going on. She also was very real with me of like the
Mm.
school district, how difficult it is, and like all of that. So I was very aware of what I was getting myself into.
Mm-hmm.
Also in college, Esteban Orial was one of the people that were coming into the classes and like giving talks and showing his work. So seeing him do it, I was like, there's absolutely a possibility. But I think I was very
Mm.
delulu
Mm-hmm.
as a young person, being like, I'm gonna do this, and
Yeah.
then like even going through it and being like, oh, okay, so money isn't stable. Got it. It's very competitive. Cool.
Yeah.
You have to constantly keep working. Okay. And I'm like, no, it's cool. I got this. So,
Yeah. I
yeah.
think with any creative field, it's always competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it doesn't really pay the bills
Mm.
unless you get to a certain point
Yeah.
and you have, but in order to get to that point, you definitely have to network, put yourself out there, meet more people, find your community. Um, did it take you some time to find your own like crew, your own group?
Yes, it did. And I'm still finding it. I'm still looking for my crew and still refining it. Yes, it took time to find community. It took time to build it. It took time to network. It took time to shoot. It took
Yeah.
time to find out who I was. It took several years for sure. It's a journey, you know.
Yeah, I'm still experiencing this journey. I think the one thing that I thought before I did all of this was that like I'd have it figured out. But the one thing in life and at this stage of my life as a millennial, I think like nothing is ever fully healed. It's always continuous.
Mhm.
Nothing is ever like figured out and that's it.
Mhm.
Like it's always pivoting or and like hopefully with like therapy and like talking with friends and people you trust,
Yeah.
it can lead you into a way where you can just cope faster and better. The traumas never leave. It's just
Yeah.
kind of like
You
you
keep
just you,
dealing with it
you keep
as
dealing
you
with
as
it.
you live, because they'll come up.
Yeah.
Things will trigger you and you're like, ooh,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I feel like that 10-year-old again, you
Yeah.
know, like
Exactly.
insane. But it's just like, how do you move past that? Or how do you talk to that little child being like, yo, it's cool, like we're good, let's
Yeah.
keep it pushing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really important. It's just like the self-talk as if you were talking to yourself when you were a little kid because
Yeah.
that little kid is damaged.
I know my little one
Jaded.
went through it for sure. And I think that's
Yeah.
why we're where we're at and why we're delulu about
Yeah.
things, you know.
I
So
think like you have to as a creative, we have to have a sense of delulu for sure.
mhm.
You have to
Mhm.
be delusional to really believe in what you do
And do it and being like,
and
I'm
do
gonna
it.
do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and not really care about what other people have to say cuz at the end of the day, it's just going to be you and your relationship with yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
You
And
know?
it's like, you know what? It's so nice to be right now where I'm at with my work and with myself as an artist, because I'm like, oh, I'm reaching these goals and I feel happy where I'm at with my work. Even if I'm not at my
Mm.
pinnacle, I
Yeah.
know I'm not even, I know. And I know that I'm not going to stop
Mm-hmm.
either. But
Yeah.
I'm just like at a point being like, all right, like this feels great to have accomplished this, to be able to do this, and that there's more in this future. Like all the little small wins, you know what I mean? All the little first times and all of that. Like it feels really nice just continue to accomplish. I think that is
Yeah.
also what kind of drives me at times, being like, can I do this? And I'm like, fuck yeah, I could do
Yeah.
this, you know?
Yeah.
So
It's really like a talk with yourself, as
yeah.
if you were like somebody else talking to yourself.
Yeah.
Because I think what people don't talk about enough is that no one is saying you're doing a good job, really. Like, there are people, yes, I appreciate the good jobs and, keep going, but,
Yeah.
but it's not happening every day.
Yeah.
Like, nobody talks about like the thoughts that
That
pass,
run through.
that run
Yeah.
through. That's like the
Yeah.
self-doubt, the
Yeah.
imposter syndrome,
Yeah.
and the you can't do that.
Yeah. The everyday, like, things that kind of like trigger you, that put you in these negative states. Those fights that you have with your parents or your siblings that bring
Mm-hmm.
you down as well. Like, because you still have a life to navigate
Yes.
through your creative journey. And that I feel like sometimes that also like stops you and also teaches you lessons that you need to know to continue on your journey.
Mm.
Last year was like that for me. I was like super broke, and I remember I was going through a breakup, and it was like one of my lowest of the lowest, and it pushed me in another direction. It pushed me back to my family, and it pushed me to figure out how to keep creating even if I don't have anything or very very little, and just
Mm.
took it as a strength, you know.
Mm.
So
How did you get yourself there? Was it just the self-talk, or
it was definitely the self-talk. The self-talk. It was like in the mornings I would have conversations about like the stuff that I would go through and like process it, cuz I had a lot of downtime. Like I had a lot of time to like rest and relax, and I was kind of sick as well and
mm.
found out through that trip. Um but yeah, it was just like, okay, Caro, like if you want to be that bitch, if you want to be on that level, what are the things that require you to be on that level?
Mm.
And that's hard work, that's organization, that's commitment, that's dedication. That means like being on top of all the different projects that you're about to put yourself into. Okay, you need consistency, then you need to manage your shit. Like you need to be on top of seven different things
Mm.
and line things up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I had to like talk to myself like, are you ready? Let's prepare ourselves like mentally, like let's
Mm.
imagine it. I'd imagine my
Right.
emails like packed up. I'd imagine my calendar, like just like all the schedules, like everything like crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like if you want something so bad, you know that even the lowest of the lows are not really going to affect you.
Yeah.
It will affect you in daily life, but there is you have to push through.
Mhm.
You have to deal with it to get through
Exactly.
to the end of that
Yeah.
rut or whatever you're going
Yeah,
through.
it was interesting to also navigate through my family and like tell them the struggles that I was going through in my career and that moment in my life. And many
Mm.
were just like, yo, just quit, you know? And then
Mm.
I would sit with their explanations and be
Yeah.
like, absolutely not. Been doing this for the last like 10 years. This is all I know. This is what I love. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. I appreciate the advice,
Right.
but no, it's not going to happen. Like, I'm going to come back. I just need to like wait. Maybe the universe is like rearranging something for me. Maybe there's a lesson that I need to learn here. There's a reason why I'm here. So let me get down to that, be present, and know that as soon as I leave, it's go time. And I've already like manifested it, pictured it, and like speak to my ancestors, being
Mm.
like, this is where we're gonna go, right? Okay,
Yeah.
like let's do this. So
I love that. Yeah, I think like you have to we live in a world where everything is so distracting,
mm-hmm.
and you have to really I think we're on the same page as that because I have a full-time job in the day, so I definitely have to plan everything out,
Mm-hmm.
to some degree. Obviously, like not everything's going to go according to plan. um I have all, I have like a structure for which how I do things, but it doesn't always happen that way. And you have to leave room for the error too. But
Mm-hmm.
manifesting that is really an important thing to do because if
Yeah.
you is positivity over negativity.
Mm-hmm.
I think negativity spreads so much faster than
Yeah.
positivity.
Yeah.
And if you can just stay in that lane, just keep it going, keep that
Yeah.
momentum going, and not take, and just take people's advice with a grain of
Grain of
salt
salt.
because sometimes it's the people closest to you that you think have your back, but they say something and it feels completely
You're like,
opposite. Yeah,
mm. Yeah, small
yeah,
circles. You got to move with small circles. I
yeah.
think this journey that we're on is very lonely because it is very much like something I think personal that you're also going through as a human being,
Mm-hmm.
as a creator, that you're living fully into your creation.
Yeah.
That's like, I feel like a very next level thing spiritually that you're dealing with also. So, yes, I agree. But
Mm-hmm.
also, I feel like I've come to learn to also just be loving, even though maybe some friends feel some type of way. To always
Right.
be open
Yeah.
if the feeling is no longer there. You know, like
Mm.
I understand that this industry is competitive. I understand that social media is trash as well.
Yeah.
It's a double-edged sword. So I try not to take it personal. Sometimes I do, but it just kind of
You're
is what
human.
it is. Exactly.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know, relationships end, things change, you grow, the people around you change.
Yeah.
Maybe you're going to connect with someone that has a bigger growth or has the same intention or, you know, so things change and it's just being grateful for what it was. And
Right.
if it doesn't or if it does continue, that's okay, you know. So,
Right. Exactly.
yeah.
And I feel like you capture a lot of vulnerability in your subjects, right? I was looking at your work and I feel like there's like a sense of, well, story, obviously, and emotion that
Mhm.
you capture in a lot of your work. Are there techniques that you use to make feel someone feel a little more comfortable? Because I think like not everyone's comfortable on camera, right?
Yeah. It it has to do with the connection that you make with the people.
Mm.
That's what brings out what you see. It's I genuinely love human beings. I love people. I love connecting with them. I love being a little butterfly
Yeah.
and like hugging everybody and like I
Right.
love you, you know, like that's always who I've been. But I genuinely do think that every person is so beautiful in their own unique way and their own personality, that when it comes to that moment where I see that, I make you feel very warm, very at home, very protected, you know, very much in like a safe space for you to fully come out. Basically, I just hype you up for you to just show it off. You know what
Right,
I mean?
right,
Like,
right.
that's really what it
Mm-hmm.
is. I cater the space for you to really come out by just
Mm.
connecting, conversation, you know, like how you care and nurture the person, how you show up, how you host. Hosting is huge. I mean, like, that's what photo is, you know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
I'm hosting a whole ass space. I'm putting a vibe on, you know?
Yeah.
So,
I guess it's kind of like throwing a party. You know,
bitch.
like if you're the host of the party, you're
Yo.
like, you good? You want more food?
Yeah. Do you need a drink of
Do you
water?
need a drink of water?
How are you feeling? Does this not feel good? Okay, let's
Right.
change you into that. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I think like also some of like your photography has some like like body parts, you know, and that comes with I think the person definitely
Mm-hmm.
feeling comfortable to show
Themselves.
themselves, their body, you know,
Yeah.
up close
Yeah, to be
details.
sexy.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
be sexy.
There's this one project I did during COVID where I shot pregnant women through
Yeah.
through what's it called? Through FaceTime basically, you know, through the camera of the computer.
Uh-huh.
And these women felt so empowered after shooting with me. They felt so sexy with their bellies. I
Wow.
would have them set up like a little backdrop in their beds and we were shooting and it was such a beautiful experience. They were like, I never felt so good like that, but we gave them the space and the
Mm.
comfort and you know, I think them knowing that I will take care of them visually and like do my best to make them feel good or look good in photo made them feel good to want to fully expose themselves.
Wow. So do they kind of do you kind of like have them look at it every few shots just so they know like the progress
Yeah,
of it?
so basically it was like they would turn the camera, they would be right like the laptops here, they would turn the camera to themselves and then you could see like a little icon of me and then I would have a little camera on a tripod like completely shooting the screen and then I'd just be like shooting and like directing
Oh.
them while we
Ah.
were shooting and like posing them and talking to them. So
That's
yeah.
awesome. I love when someone, like personally, I love when someone can direct me too
Yeah.
because I can't see what you're seeing.
Yeah.
And if you're like, oh, move your hand a little up, like that makes such, like someone who has a good attention to detail is like key to me.
Huge, huge, especially because you're on set, everything's ready to go. There's a one go, honey.
Yeah.
There's a one time deal.
Yeah.
You gotta be locked in and seeing those things. And again, that's why a team is so essential because then I can see that, you
Right.
know. And sometimes I'd be fighting with clients because people are trying to cut corners, and I'm like, no. Do you want a good job? We
Mm.
need the support. Do you wanna pay a little? You're not gonna get that great of a job that
Mm.
you want. You're
The
not gonna.
quality. I have definitely worked with some photographers that I didn't like the way I looked in the photos, you
Yeah.
know, and I think yeah, sometimes you have to pay and invest in the team and
Yeah.
stuff to get a good result. Like it
Yeah.
makes a difference.
It does.
Yeah.
Takes a village, honey.
It really does. It
Yeah.
takes a village.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about people of color.
Let's do it.
Yes. Um, you've had exhibitions like Gaze, as we talked about, and Artistic Working Class,
Mhm.
where they have strong themes.
Yeah.
How do you translate a community's story into visual language?
I think for me in my work, I try to elevate what that is.
Mm,
I try to see it from a different perspective. I try to and I'm kind of like minimalistic a bit. Like I don't like
right.
too much and I've noticed that's how I am.
Yeah.
Unless it's like very intentional, like that
Mm-hmm.
project that I did, mi pasado es mi presente, that I was very intentional on like the clothes, the color, what they were holding.
Mm,
Um, so I really think it depends, like what is the narrative, what are we talking about, or who is the subject to then dictate what that will visually look like or what the story is. I mean, there's so many different experiences and stories that there are from women to men to the
mm,
LGBTQ to like being from low community, how do I say, low income communities to middle class to being from another country, you know.
mm-hmm.
So I really just take who you are and elevate it. Like I
Do
just,
you research a little like on the culture? Maybe if it's like, you know, something like let's say I'm Filipino or something.
mhm,
Like
mhm.
will you look at kind of elements that maybe Filipino cultures have and try to
Absolutely.
incorporate?
Absolutely. Definitely look into the culture. Like, for example, I know it's Caribbean, and we could definitely relate from like the food that you eat, you
Yeah.
know what I mean, to the vibe that we are, you know, like
Yeah.
family wise. But like,
Mm-hmm.
that's the great part about LA and New York. I know that because I've been around people to have learned all those different
Right.
things culturally. So that I think
Mm.
even coming from these cities has been such a blessing to love and like accept so many different people around me and understand that. And that helps
Yeah.
contribute to whatever I'm doing or whoever I'm shooting, you know, or when I'm on
Mm.
set. So,
Did you have any favorite campaigns that you liked working on?
yes. I really love the recent Hija de tu Madre campaign that I did with Complex when they dropped for Walmart. I know,
Congrats, by the way.
I know Walmart. I know. I get it. I get it. I get it. A girl's got to eat. I'm sorry. Like, I got to eat, boo. Like, I
Right,
got to
right.
integrate before I can, like,
Right.
do some other. But,
Yeah.
anyways, that was a really beautiful shoot. I got to connect with the family on such a deep level. I wasn't even expecting it. And I was like, whoa. And the energy, there was something that was just so deep and emotional in that shoot. And I guess they did like a surprise. So, like, I
Mm.
basically waited to shoot them. they did like a whole barbecue, they did like a whole present and then an opening, and then they were like, oh, like the family had no idea that they were also going to
Oh.
pose. Yeah, like all that.
Oh.
Yeah,
It
so
was really a
it was
surprise.
really a surprise. And it was
Wow.
beautiful to meet like the eldest of their ancestors, you know, to the mom and the pops and getting to know them. I was definitely crying in the like in that shoot cuz it really reminded me of like my mom, my family.
Mm.
Like I felt how Patty felt during that moment and such a big success cuz at the end of the day like our people have gone to Walmart like for so many years. That's
Yeah.
how I grew up on. Like that's
Yeah.
such a staple thing in our community.
Mhm.
So it was so beautiful to see that and to be like, damn, this is nice. The talent was the family. I understood it from a very deep level. Even the client was like, what's so emotional? And I'm like, oh, I could give you layers of like why we feel this type of way. But yeah.
Wow. That's beautiful. And if someone walks away from your work, what's the one story you hope that they take with them about the world you're trying to show?
Authenticity.
Mm.
Yeah. I feel like I'm at a crossroads in my work where I do want things to look pretty, but I want to touch on stories that are deeper, that
Mm.
have more meaning. I feel like a lot of work right now is very regurgitated or very surface level, and I also feel like for the last 10 years like I have been working on the technicality of what my work is,
Mm.
and now I'm really tapping into like the feeling, like what is really the story, like yeah. So
Mm.
like I think authenticity is what I want people to take away from it. I don't want you to look at it and be like, oh, it's pretty. No, I
Yeah.
want you to see like a deeper story in it.
So kind of like leaving room for it to be raw and like a little untapped.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I think
Mhm.
and that's why I really wanted to bring you
Mhm.
on this podcast because I feel like images and visuals have such a big meaning, you know, more than we think they do. Like
Mhm.
in one shot you could capture so many emotions and it really takes like someone to understand themselves and understand the subject or whoever is involved in the project to keep that message still going.
Yeah.
Even if you were to look at that image like later on, like 10 years from when you took it,
Yeah.
it still captures something.
Yeah.
And that's like, there's beauty in capturing a
Yeah.
story.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Stopping time.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. Working
Right.
with light, that
Yeah.
thing is that's invisible. Like that,
Yeah.
you know, like it's a really interesting niche thing what we're doing. I always geek out with like my photo homies and I'm like, we're wizards, bro. Like
Yeah.
we're working
Seriously.
with science and art at the same time, and
Yeah.
like very intriguing. Like all the equipment is very specifically for that. All the cameras to like the numbers. I'm gonna stop geeking out.
Yeah.
So, so yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, seriously. Even like editing, I like geek out too because I'm like, oh, it's. I mean, it's more of like a feeling. Like,
Mhm.
even with the, I think I've been learning a lot through. So I edit a lot of my music videos,
Mhm.
the podcast. You know, like getting the coloring right. Sometimes the light will be off sometimes, so
Mhm.
you know, I don't think people always think about those things. It's not just one camera sometimes, it's
No,
several,
never.
and, you know,
Yeah.
just keeping a balance of, and while
Yeah.
trying to be authentic
At
and
the
at
same
the same
time,
time
right?
and
While
make
you're
it pretty
staging
also.
everything.
Yeah, like it's a lot of thinking. It's a lot of
Yeah,
thinking, you
yeah. There's
know,
so many parts to it.
so
It's not
many
just
moving
one little.
parts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So let me fire some rapid fire questions.
Let's go.
All right. Um, oh, favorite Guatemalan dish?
Oh, breakfast like
Ooh.
huevitos, frijolitos negro, queso y crema, pan bolillo, y platanitos like
Ooh.
fried. That's
I don't think I've had much Guatemalan food. Is there a spot around here I could try?
um. There is the Guatemalan bakery if you really like sweets.
Ooh. I like it all,
On
girl.
I've
Sweet, savory. Give it all.
um Beverly. Oh my God, Carol, you're spacing out. It's
okay.
in Hollywood, and I believe there's another cafe spot in Alhambra as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. You're gonna have
so
to send me some
I will
recommendations,
definitely send you.
girl.
Westlake is popping with the Guatemalan
Oh,
and
okay.
Salvadorian food as well,
Okay.
so a
Okay. I
little
gotta check that
closer.
out.
But yeah.
And since we're both from Bellflower,
Hey.
hey, any hidden spots that you found, like photograph wise or even food or restaurant? I mean, there's been so many changes in Bellflower. Anything you can think of?
For Bellflower, for me, it was the skate park next to the river.
Oh, I know that near Carruthers
I
Park.
believe right across from Bellflower High.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
that's the spot. The taco spot across from that corner. So you know where the football field is. There's a
Oh,
taco spot.
Taco
And
Nazo?
oh my god, the
Yes.
queso birrias go
Ooh, okay. I haven't tried the
stupid.
birria.
No,
I knew
honey.
them for their fish
They
tacos.
got a couple. They got a
Okay.
couple spots that
Okay.
were like some restaurant spots. Also, I have like a very endearing feeling to the library,
Oh, the
the Bellflower
library. Oh my
Library.
God. A
Yeah, throw,
throwback.
throw.
Dang.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
I'm gonna start naming.
I
There
remember
was a
when they had those green library cards.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I had one of
Yeah,
those.
yeah. Most sentimental part for sure is the dark room in my high school. I spent so many hours in there.
Oh.
I really loved Bellflower. I loved going to, or actually, I went to the metro station a lot.
The green?
The Green Line on
Uh-huh.
Rosecrans
Yep.
and like
Near that Costco.
Somerset. Oh, I worked at the Metro PCS on Rosecrans where
Oh,
that
really?
McDonald's is at.
Oh my God. That's a
Yup.
throwback right there.
Yeah. Used to
Dang.
walk this crazy alleyway when I would come from college at night. And yo, there's so many. Yo, Bellflower. I love Bellflower.
Hidden gem. The
The
fair.
fair that they do at the park. Yeah.
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 I I had this one place that I don't know exists anymore, but I always wanted to do a photo shoot there.
Where?
It was like in downtown, and it used to be like this health, like medicine store. It was kind of like a Whole Foods in
Yeah.
downtown.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they had like when you walked in, I think it was an old diner, but they converted it into like a store,
Oh.
and it had like orange seats. It was kind of like a 50s vibe. But I just don't know if it exists anymore.
Probably not.
I know.
Dude. It's such a bummer. But there was definitely Tam's Burger,
Oh, Tam's Burger. Yeah.
chili cheese fries.
Oh, yes.
And then like before Tam's, there was an ice cream truck that would do the hot Cheetos with the hot cheese.
I don't think I ever had that
Oh,
one.
girl,
Ooh,
yeah.
I missed out on that one.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, okay.
definitely.
Well, if I could find it, we should.
Yeah, we should hit it
shoot.
up.
Yeah, we should definitely hit it up. And one photo you wish you had taken but didn't.
I'm gonna have to say Big Steppa from Kendrick Lamar. Renell did a really good job with the wife with the kid in the back on the bed and him like in the
Oh,
forefront.
that shoot. Wow. Ugh.
I was like, damn, the video where she crip on
Ugh.
go crazy. It goes
Wow.
so crazy, and I think there's something so minimalistic and beautiful. It's lit really nice. The colors are perfect. It's neutral. Like it says so much about where he's at
Yeah.
as a person and his career. Like, and then the little crowd is just
Wow.
like just not a lot of shit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
sometimes you don't need so much shit.
Impactful.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, that's the first one that I thought.
Is
yeah.
that something that was pitched to you or like
No,
or
I just thought like whatever.
like someone who okay, I got you. I
mhm.
got you.
In terms of like work, there was actually someone hitting me up to do like a Modelo gig, and I didn't get it, and I was kind of bummed out about it. I was like, damn, almost there though.
Yeah,
Almost
yeah, yeah.
there. Yeah.
But I mean, your lineup, lots of brands, girl. You've worked for a lot of people since I met you. So
yeah, the rap
congrats.
sheet. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sometimes you forget.
Yeah.
And it's there. But you know what? I think that who I am as a person and like where I'm going, not only with my photo and directing, but also community, it's like I can also connect the dots. I don't have to wait for someone
Right.
to connect me. I
Yeah.
can do it myself. I have that power. I have that light. I have that intention of wanting to do good, that I can do it, and we've been working on it. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
So, yeah.
Congrats on
Thank
everything. I'm so
you.
glad you were a part of this
Thank you for
podcast.
having me.
Of course.
Yeah.
And anything you would like to promote or on this
Oh, yes. Mujeres Revolucionarias are going to come out possibly in the next month. There will be a zine drop happening in about 2 months as well.
Okay.
And there's a lot of fun little stuff coming up no matter what. So just be on standby.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And where can people find you? What's your handle?
My handle on Instagram is Isabel, ISAB as in boy, EL, _ Carolina, 3 A's at the end. You can also find me on my website, carolinaisabel.me. But yeah, please, let's work. I really want to get down with my LA homies. I'm coming back home.
Hey.
I'm coming back next year. So,
Hey.
yeah, I'm ready to do it.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Awesome. So, yes, an image can hold a whole story. And as Carolina shows us, sometimes it even reveals truths that we didn't know we had. Your story is worth capturing and worth sharing. Don't forget to watch a new episode every Thursday on the next Cozy with Calinnah. Hey! Bye.
Bye.